What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. But my heart is in Houston, Texas. I'm in here with my two co-hosts. Let's first start with the youngest man to ever run a casino sports book on the Las Vegas Strip. I call him my brother from another, the boy wonder of sports betting. What's up, Casino Royale?
Wow, what's up, Five Star? What's up, Spread? What's up, Wagering World? Coming off a raw play winner, coming off some winners in the during the weekend, and the sports book just got destroyed. I'm talking about one of the biggest losses in sports book history. That was nuts. I can't wait to discuss that with you guys, Five Star.
What it do, Cino? And of course, we got the OG in the show. Been with me since day one. I call him the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, Spread Stare?
Man, I'm excited to talk to you. We texted last night. I said, we got a lot to talk about today. So let's dive right in because this could be a 2-hour show with everything that's been going on in the wagering world, in the world of sports lately.
Yeah, the guys have been missing us. They've been DMing me and asking like, man, where's the show? We missed you guys too. I had a little traveling to do. As you see right here, I got on the shirt from the family reunion. Shout out to the Nixon family. That's my wife's family, man. Started right there in 4th Ward, one of their home that their grandmother built in Houston in 4th Ward is considered an historical land site. So shout out, to that whole family, man, and rest in peace to my wife's aunt Donna, man. I love those people. We had a really good time, some great food, some great brisket. I know that some of the guys are tuning in right now, so I had to send a shout out to my fam. That's why we didn't have a show, man. I was traveling. I was in Houston. Got to do family first. We always stress that on Wagering World. Family first, wealth is health. So let's always get a good workout in the morning, man. Let's say our prayers, and the money's going to come, man. We don't sweat that. Hey, man, hit that like button right now. If you're in here with the Wagering World, hit that like for myself. Hit that like for Cino Royale. Hit that like for Spread Stare. We take our time out, our busy schedules to come here and kick it with you and talk some sports because you are the Wagering World, and it's always us versus the machine. Man, it was a bloodbath on Sunday for the books, bro.
This whole weekend.
Casual bettors, as you guys know, they always bet favorites. So me, I didn't do too well. I went like 3-3 on Sunday, but Saturday we cleaned the slate. We only lost Arizona. We went like 11-1 on Saturday, right? So all my group were up so much we didn't even trip about really like losing a half a unit. I think we ended up losing on Sunday because it was a square day. Like anything that you want to name that could have went the public's way, the favorites' way, went their way, man. We know that the NFL is usually one of the most unpredictable sports to bet, but man, it was pretty predictable this past weekend. MGM senior trader Tristan Davis, that's the homie, man. He said that the bettors got the entire Sunday this week, and they deserved it. It had been a rough start to the season for them. So, hey, man, every dog gets his day, and this was one of the biggest, actually was the biggest, in the history of sports betting. You're a guy that's from that background. You ran actually one of the biggest books on the strip. People think when I'm saying that little intro, I'm just talking, but I'm not. Like, Zito really ran one of the most exclusive, highest money generating sports book. They don't pay us, so we're not gonna release the name of the company. But he ran that book for many years, man. And they say that this was the biggest loss that the books have taken in history this past weekend, week 6, October 13th, man, the day that they live in infamy.
Hey, and it's crazy. Free game to a lot of people that's watching. It's always between week 5 and week 8 where the public win everything. I'm talking about everything might go over. All the favorites might win. All the spreads might win. Like it's nuts. I don't know why it's like that. And then towards the end of the season, it's always between week 15 and week 18. I don't know why it's like that and why they put it like that. I guess they're trying to, keep people going while we kind of towards the middle. But this was a big loss. And usually in these situations, people like somebody's going to get fired. Somebody's going, nah, believe it or not, in America, we get all our lines from overseas. Like we get all our lines from Costa Rica. Believe it or not, we don't have a trade up in there, calculate stuff. Nope, it's all computerized. And they use something called Bet Genius. I'm giving you guys a lot of information. They use something called Bet Genius, to keep the line in the market in place. And everything goes off adjustments. Like if 5-star comes and hammers something, we know 5 stars a good better. We adjust the line based off of 5-star. Simple as that. It's all about market. So everything's coming from overseas. So whoever overseas making these lines, getting that $7-8 an hour, they in some trouble this weekend. For sure. There's some big trouble.
And I can let you know why I think it's like that. Because with the way that the preseason rules have changed, these teams aren't coming in. We're seeing preseason level football to start the season, which is why we see so many upsets. Look at how the scores have increased. It's because it's easier to play defense without practice than offense without practice. Now we're seeing these offenses start to get some chemistry there, especially with how much teams move players around. Teams move offensive linemen around. The offensive lines are looking better. The routes are looking crisper. And also, when you have, what do we have, 4 or 5 weeks of upsets, that means the favorites aren't laying as many points. So these games that should have been 8 or 9 are now 5 or 6. So I'm not surprised when you say that weeks 5 to 8 are tough for the books, because I think the better teams are starting to gel and get some offensive continuity. And the offensive continuity causes the games to go over, because we know that when you talk about the books taking a bath, it's because they parlayed the favorites in the over, right?
You got it. You got it. That make a lot of sense, Brett.
So go Sunday morning in the book that you're at. Ask how many guys are betting the under. None.
Nobody.
Which is why we always say, if you're going to bet an under, bet it 15 minutes before kick, because it's going to get steamed up right before the game usually. I didn't go ahead and keep breaking it down, but when you said week 5 to 8, I know exactly why that's a tough week for the Bucs.
And spread shit. I couldn't have said it any better, my man. That's exactly why. And again, next year, you guys are towards the end of the season. Just look for those. My little brother does it every week. Ever since we start betting and I start working in the book, he like, look, I'm gonna bet all dogs, all favorites, just like that. And he's been doing that since the season started. And guess what? He just had a nice ticket. And the only game that the public didn't win on, and damn, of course, it was my raw play. My biggest bet of the weekend was the Indianapolis Colts. I had the Colts. I don't know how the hell the Colts won that game. The public was on the Titans. Again, I just can't bet.
It switched to the Titans, because I thought that they had the numbers must have switched, because I thought that the only game that the public won was Arizona. But that's the thing about that information, man. With all these betting splits, unless you really got someone in the back, who actually counted, then that's only one casino. That's not even counting for what's happening in New Jersey.
Yeah.
What's happening with the Black Book. A lot of people don't know about the Black Book. That's the richest men in the world. They can bet anywhere, anything from the next play to the, how many yards they're going to get. The field goal is going to be good, and for millions. It's the biggest sports book in the whole universe, and it's for a different class of people that you'll never meet. But that's not calculating into that money, man. You're not calculating what's going on in all of these states who are now it's legal to bet in, like in Colorado, for instance. So it's hard to get a correct number, but I know overall that the books lost just because we know that they lost because the favorites won, and the favorites is going to always be with the public bets. The favorites won 11-2-1 against the spread this weekend, and they covered all 3 of the primetime games, which are usually the last legs of these teasers, of these parlays. Additionally, all 4 of the Sunday afternoon games cashed with the favorite and the over. That just is massive liability, man, for the casinos, and I couldn't be happier for them. I don't care if they, lose all their money, but I do know that the way that guys like us who are respected bettors, who have been in the market and understand betting so long, we don't ever do good when the books do bad. And that's just being honest. And it's simply because we always come up with different type of algorithms in our betting handicaps that allow us to kind of get on sometimes the side of the public, but also the sides of the book too, just depending on the game. And I tell people it's something very hard to, gauge. It's something that you can only get from experience and being able to have a feel for this. It's nothing that comes overnight. It's nothing that you can clearly define in black and white. It's a whole lot of gray, being able to judge which games to get on the side of the books with and which games to get on the side of the public with. But they hadn't lost like this, man, since a long time. I want to say, when was the last time that the books lost like this? I want to say 2021 was the last time that they got cracked like this. And they said another great day for customers. I think you were still at the book then. It was week 12 of 23. Were you still there then,
Yep,
CO?
I was still
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they say that week they went 12-4 against the spread of 12-4 straight up. So
Yeah. I
they
never
did
forget
pretty
those
well
type
that
of
one.
days. Hey, another quick story. What killed me like this, I never forget this, man. In the book, like weeks like this, the square bettors always come into Vegas, bro. And again, they just pick all the favorites. And it's always this little rich group of kids with daddy's money, right? So they just come
Yep.
around like 8-teamers. Bro, these guys, never forget this guy come in, him and his friends. It's like maybe 4 or 5 of them. He like, yeah, it's his 21st birthday. We're in Vegas celebrating.
I
I'm
remember
gonna do
that.
a parlay. Yeah, bro. These guys did an 18, $100. All of them did it, $20,000 each. I say, oh my God, Jesus Christ. So they all probably had a weekend like that this weekend. It was so easy.
That's crazy because a specific story. I had the Giants. I lost both prime time. Well, I pushed on the Bills and the Jets because remember we got them early. I took them
Yep,
at
the +3.
+3, and
Yep,
I
you're right.
usually buy a hook. I was so angry because I didn't really watch the game. I was on a flight, so I was in and out on the game, watching it, doing it.
Oh,
But
you didn't watch the game?
I watched some of it, man. The Hail Mary. I went and watched it over on replay. You know me, I'm gonna watch the all 22. So I saw them miss all them damn field goals. It was one of the weirdest games I ever seen before. Of course, Rodgers throws an interception at the end. But
Right.
we'll get to when we break it down. My point was I lost that game. And then I also lost the Cincinnati and the Giants game, and we were heavy on the Giants. I thought the Giants were going to win money line, but I bet them with the points. And as you remember, they were inside the red zone so many times and never scored. And then how fate would have it for this Sunday, for all of the square bettors, Chase Brown breaks through the line on a 3rd and short. The Giants have no timeouts left. It's after the 2-minute warning. Most times, what have we seen over the years? The running back slides down. The Bengals take the lead. The game lands right at the 3 perfectly for the books. Chase Brown said, hell no. My grandma bet on us this weekend. And he took it to the house. He took it to the house, man. He scored and he knocked all of the respected bettors and the sharp bettors out of the money. But it was really special for one kid that was betting on Fanatics. He had a $10 16-leg parlay going, guys. And his last leg was Bengals -3.5. And Chase Brown, with less than 2 minutes left, breaks this miracle touchdown. That kid cashed $131,000. Really great for him, man. And I want to say these are the stories from last week. Even though I don't like to handicap these types of weeks, these are the type of stories that make sports betting really fun and make it special in this country.
Hey, speaking of the parlay, you guys seen that guy with the 15-leg parlay, the $10 to win the 123,000,
and
he
he
didn't cash
wouldn't
out.
cash out.
Last leg was the Jets.
Yeah, he ended up taking $5,000, man. He
Bro, but he had 33 grand in front of him. He had 33 in front of his face.
I think it went up to 80 grand when the Jets took the lead 7-3 in the first quarter.
Hey, to look, anybody, man, again, free game from the wagering world. Man, if you put $10 on the plate and your money is at $1,000 on the cash out, take it. Simple as that.
Oatmeal beats oatmeal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sometimes it hurts you, like I told you what happened. I was telling you guys about I cashed out on the Ravens too early.
Yes, you actually sent us that ticket the other
where
day.
McPherson, who never misses field goals, it just happens to get a bad snap and misses, and the Ravens get the ball back after Lamar tried to hand them the game and try to work with the books on us. And it ended up where I lost a big payday, but I'm never mad because earlier I saved myself by taking the Jaguars. I laid Jaguars -3.5 when they went up 14. I cashed out, so I got a nice profit, like about 80% of my profit. They didn't cover. The Colts came back and only lost by 3. So I'd always say, like Lil Bro said, oatmeal beats the oatmeal, man. Well, that's our motto from day one on the wagering world. If you got that cash out option, if you take $10 and it's offering $33,000. Unless you're unbelievably wealthy, and even then you're stupid because wealthy people know what to do with money and to take that 33K and invest it in something. Off $10, like, come on, let's be rational right here. But yeah, a bloodbath, October 13th will forever live in infamy, man. And congratulations to the public. You guys deserve it because you went 5-19-1 against the spread on games under 6 points leading into week 6. All right, Spread, what do you think about the arms race that's going on in the AFC East before we get to the pass. I need your thoughts. Who came out better spread on this trade? Was it Davante Adams to the Jets or Amari Cooper to the Bills?
Almost came out equal. I personally like Adams a lot more as a player, even a little bit older right now. Cooper's been inconsistent where we've seen true greatness from Davante Adams. However, because the Bills were already so much farther ahead than the Jets in my mind, I think that the Bills basically matched the move, and I still like them going forward. We kind of saw in that game that they played on Monday night, Josh Allen's still in his prime, right? And this isn't the same Aaron Rodgers that was winning MVPs. They're not the same Aaron Rodgers that we watched dominate. And I think he can still sit back there and sling it. He's got a great arm. Accuracy's still top notch. What he's lost is the mobility. And we saw that with Allen on the play that closed the game. Less than 2 minutes ago, they need the first down. It's 3rd and 4. Allen's ability to drop back, they have to respect his arm. He gets a quick scramble, right? That's something Rodgers used to be able to do that he can't do anymore. So while I do think that Davante Adams is a better player, and he definitely is going to make the Jets better, I still like the Bills better going forward, and I think Cooper's going to fit in great in that system. I think another person that's going to benefit from that is Khalil Shakir. Now he's not going to have to work against the number 1 corner anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us attacking some of his props and for his numbers to improve. Actually, you'd think that they go down not being the number 1 guy, but I think they'll go up not being the number 1 guy. What do you think?
What about you, Cino?
Kirk Rodgers and Adams. for real. Again, it's just the relationship these guys have, man. And you know how I'm on relationships. We had to play with each other. They say Davante Adams wanted to be there. Before the trade was even officially made, he was already in the Jets building. So that means he excited to go there and do what he want to do. And playing, like he said, Amari Cooper, he hasn't been consistent. And he didn't even get a lot of money for the Bills. I think he played hard stuff like that, but the Jets will definitely make a run. And they coming for that number 1 spot in the AFC East.
And see, I'm on the other side than you guys on that. I think Amari Cooper's bigger because he has a better quarterback. Josh Allen is the real deal. And we've seen the only other time that Amari Cooper had a real quarterback is Dak Prescott. He was unbelievable. He was all pro. He has that type of talent, but who wants to play with Cleveland? He's had probably 8 quarterbacks throwing him the ball, since he's been there. Like, Amari Cooper is going to be the one who benefits the Bills better because the Bills are a better team. It's just a better team, a better coach, a better culture. The Jets is a sideshow, and I'm starting to wonder about Davante Adams. You only want to play with your buddies? You don't want to play with some other people, some other teams? You don't want to win? You could have went to Baltimore. You don't want to win? You want to go play with your boy Aaron Rodgers or my boy Derek Carr all over the league? Come on, man. It's getting a little bit clowny to me because now I'm thinking that you're about comfortability instead of being about trying to win championships, because you and I both know that, the real success comes with not being comfortable. You have to, try other things. You have to get out there and put yourself in situations that kind of, put you on a different path and make you try different things, because you might just mess around and hit something going down this new path. A fool continues to do the same things over and over again, and he keeps following these dudes across America, and I don't get it. And the Jets are just an ass organization. As you heard from Belichick, Belichick quit them. What he was how long was he the coach there? Spread a day? 2 days?
Yeah.
He sat out with those dumbasses for a little bit. It was like, I'm tripping. Like, I can't do this. I can't destroy my life like this. What am I doing? And he's still on that road 30 years later. He was just talking about how unstable of an organization that is. They're just doing things to make the back page of the New York Post. Davante Adams, he's a good player. Aaron Rodgers is the same quarterback. So the things that we saw them doing in Green Bay isn't going to look the same way with the Jets. It's going to turn out being the same thing we saw with Derek Carr and the Raiders when he went over there. They're still going to lose games. He'll have his moments where he makes splash plays and you're like, oh, that was beautiful fade pass from Rodgers to Davante Adams, but at the end of the day, when you look at the scoreboard, they're going to lose. Whereas the Bills, I think that Amari Cooper can kind of push those guys where they can threaten for the AFC Championship game or even the Super Bowl. But we did also learn that Josh Allen Can't do what Mahomes does, and can't do what Lamar Jackson does. I always thought that on this show, and now it's kind of proven. He needs a number one guy. I think Amari Cooper's going to shine over there. All right, guys, let's jump in that Magnum PI 1980 Ferrari. We want that red joint too. It's clean. And let's go to the pad spread.
All right. Maybe I'll throw on some of those Magnum PI shorts, but fortunately you only see me from the top up, so you guys won't see it.
Off the legs. He says I've not missed leg day in years.
Yeah, I show off the quads. Northwestern. You gave that one to me, 5-star. I actually was over with my buddy watching that one. He thought Maryland was the side, and boy, I was kicking my feet up there by the end of the first quarter as we knew they were going to cover. I mean, that was obvious. It was just whether or not they're going to win outright, and they did, which allowed us to at least at the house I was at, to switch over to the other game that you gave out and enjoy the Sun Devils taking on Utah. But what did you see in that Northwestern game? And then I definitely want to talk to you about Utah and their going on 10-year quarterback Cam Rising.
Bro, Friday was one of those special days for me. I was back in the city. I was in Houston. I'm popping up on all my boys I haven't seen in so long. And everywhere we're going, we're watching this game. We're at different lounges, different bars. And Cino knows if I pull up to a spot, I know the owner. I'm not coming. That's just how I am. So we always tucked in these different little offices or these little private areas. So I'm able to zone in and watch the game. And it was really, really a fun watch for me, man, because, you know, the prediction went exactly like how we figured, with Jack Losh bringing a brand new element to that Northwestern offense. We've seen them look dormant for so long, just running the ball in the middle of the line. I'm so glad that they let this kid play. He's a red shirt, a lot of talent. He's from that area of the world, so I think he played in Chicago school district, I want to say. But that kid can throw it, and he has a lot of heart, man. I like how he plays. He's really a daring quarterback. He takes chances with the ball, and like I told you guys, man, you can't trust Mike Loxley. We're not messing with him in Maryland. This probably be his last year there. Gets wins against some teams that he's supposed to beat, but other teams that are really good in the trenches like Northwestern and the Big Ten dominate him. And that's why my whole handicap on this game was based on Northwestern had a lot of success just pretty much punking them on the line, and they did the same thing this year. They go right into College Park and just smack them. Ty Felton, as I told you, was hurt for Maryland. He did not look like himself. Just another great game for us on the Wager World on college football, man, as we get an easy cash with Northwestern plus 11 and Northwestern money line plus 400.
Cino, did you watch that game?
I turned that shit off 5-star. That was so easy. At half, it was like 17-10 or something. I said they won them 11 points. Good.
Yeah.
The game.
Right.
Let's talk about Arizona State and Cam Rising, who I guess is going to play another year of college football. That's what was announced.
Please don't.
I hope he better if you want to adjust or get good.
They were. Remember McConaughey and Daisy Confused? They were posting that picture of him. It's going to be like LeBron. He's going to be playing with his kid.
Cam Rising. That's who he is.
What'd you see there, 5-star?
Man, I was over at Urban Social. Shout out to my wife's good friend Ashley, the homie man, and my homeboy Damon over there as DJs. Bro, this was a fun one. I had to post. You saw I posted the video spread. I had my son out with me. He had brought his girlfriend out with my wife and I. We went by her friend's bar and watched this game, man. In the little cigar area, so cigar like VIP area. So we was just us in there by ourselves, but we could still hear the music from the party, you know. And it was just really great vibes, man. And bro, what a great game! Like one of the best games we've seen. I thought that Sam Levitt was hurt, and I was so afraid spread because we weren't gonna even cover the spread if Levitt would have been hurt, because he brings another element to that Arizona State offense. He's able to get that ball to their great receivers. And as I told you, what about Scatterboo? If you didn't know about Scatterboo, I bet you know about Scatterboo now. I bet you know about it now. I told you guys that Scatterboo is one of the best running backs in college football. He could do it all, and he will be a Sunday player. I don't know if he'll be a running back in the NFL. He might be a fullback or something like that, an H-back or something, but he'll get some carries, man, in short yardage. That kid is a really good player. they were fired up in Tempe. Shout out to Kenny Dillingham for being a coach that, kicked it with the kids after the game, got in with the mob and turned up with them, man. And that was one of the
Did you
best.
see the interview?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I said this guy can end up in WWE.
Bro, that was really
like a
wired.
wrestling
That
promo.
was a fun game. That was a really fun game, but
I was fired up.
Too bad for Cam Rising. Cam Rising was a really good prospect coming out. His first year he went to Texas. He was behind Sam Ellinger. Couldn't get on the field. Transfers to Utah. Really good start to his career. I know you guys remember. That was like the first year we did the show spread when he was killing stuff in Utah. He's been there that long, for real. So Cam was really good, man. Injuries have destroyed him, man. Slowly but surely, he's not the guy he once was. And as you saw in this game, our handicap didn't change. And I couldn't change it after they said that Cam Rising was playing because the books didn't change it. If the number would have changed, I would have said, oh, maybe we need to buy out. But why? If the books are saying that it's 6 before he's confirmed and then he's confirmed and they don't change the number, they're telling you he's not right. Because Cam Rising is worth points if he's right, because Utah is a completely different offense when you had prime Cam Rising. But it's sad that he's already past his prime and he's in college still, man. He's beat up. He can't even grip the ball. That injury, he was throwing horribly. And he doesn't have the speed he used to have because he had a lower leg injury last season that had him out for the whole year because he used to run. Remember at the Rose Bowl, that kid was a beast. So really, sad for him that his career probably end this year because I think he has to have enough self-awareness to not come back again. Like, nah, man, you've done 2 4-year duties at this school. You like 28, about to be the quarterback. Come on, man. So I think he'll walk away from the game. I'm sure that the alumni of Utah have a great job for him somewhere in corporate America because he's really did a good job for that university. But we're happy we cashed another money line and cover on a fantastic Friday.
Cino, did you check out the Sun Devils and their fun win?
I sure did, and I became a fan of Cam Scatterbo that game. It seems like the kid get better, like when the game gets later, like towards the end of the game, he just started breaking out. He had a lot of big, great runs and stuff like that, and another easy win. I'm surprised they're not in the top 25 after that win. I'm surprised he didn't help them, push up in there.
Let's move on to Saturday. Penn State. They got the win over USC. That game was quite close. What'd you think, 5-star?
That was a hell of a game right there, man. Both of them. And with the beautiful sunshine of LA and the Coliseum, it was a beautiful day. And man, those all-white jerseys against that classic garnet and gold, it was just a classic game. Made me think about really like a Rose Bowl game of my youth, honestly, and I guess that's going to be the good thing about them bringing these Pac-12 teams to the Big Ten, even though it's crazy travel for these kids and we know the demographics don't really fit each other. It makes you think about if you were a longtime football fan like how we are, the Rose Bowl games, So it was just great on the eyes, great watch on TV. Far as in the game, Penn State with a really gutsy win because I thought the USC had won that game a couple times. And Penn State's able to pull it out, but we cashed it. We had the points. We had USC +4. What are they going to do with Lincoln Riley? Can he last in LA?
Do you think Cino is he going to be staying down there, or does he need to go back to his roots and head back?
He got to go back to his roots. It's like this team keep getting ahead and they can't finish. Like, you can't do that. It's like, how you going to continue to do that? Start off impressively. They lost to Bashley last week, and then you let these guys come back in the second half, and you give up. They had a big lead at the half. So, I don't know. Lincoln Riley, I don't think he's going to be there next year. And seeing how these coaches are going and these owners and everybody feeling and boosters, get him out of here. We want to win.
He never fit them to me. I know he probably wanted to live the LA lifestyle. Like we all want to move up in life. Like nobody wants to. Your kids and your wife, they probably want to go live in Beverly Hills instead of living in, like outside of Norman, Oklahoma. Like, what is it to do there? It's very family friendly, probably not too aesthetically pleasing coming outside. Whereas when you go to Beverly Hills and, to someone who's from the Midwest, it has to look gorgeous, just a different type of lifestyle. So I understand why he took the job, but it just doesn't fit with what he's trying to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back in the Big 12 or somewhere like that, or maybe even the SEC coming soon after he leaves. Or maybe he takes a job as an OC in the NFL. I think that would be a really good idea for him to follow Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley.
I wonder. He was the hottest head coaching prospect for a while. I don't know if he'll
He should have took the job with the Cowboys. They tried to give it to him.
And he like, nah. All his quarterbacks did start this past week though. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams. Oh, that was another good thing.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler.
Yep, but other than that, right? Other than that, he got a loss and he's trying to shake back his job.
Yeah, okay. USC is a tough place to coach at, man. USC is one of those programs who are stuck in the past, and it's a lot of colleges like that. Like they don't want to accept the new reality.
Yeah, so, but again, they're already out of the Big Ten and the college playoff race. So
you know who they need as a coach? They need somebody like Antonio Pierce. They need a brother from that area who can get all of those.
Well, he can't go back.
Now he can, of course, but I'm saying it needs to be in that type of mode spread. And what I mean by that is he's from Compton. He has all those high school contacts with those coaches. They need someone who can go in there and get all of the good dudes from out of LA like they used to. Because them dudes not going there no more, bro. They're not going to USC. They don't want to play for Lincoln Riley.
Come on, from one game that was really close. Texas wasn't close at all, man. And I know that's a rivalry game. Normally, we like the dog, and it can be close no matter what, no matter how the teams are looking. But Texas firmly stamped number one. Now, of course, they get an even tougher test this week. But they look like the number one team in the nation to me right now. But we'll see. These teams are so close now compared to how they used to be. But what did you see in that game, and how long did you keep it on? I flipped through and said, nope, and just kept it moving because there's plenty of good games right in that time slot.
Well, I laid the -14 with the clients, and then we laid the -15.5. So I watched like a little bit in and out on the first half, but when Texas got to 21, and then I saw what my handicapper kind of told me, that Oklahoma's offense wasn't going to have a chance in hell moving the ball against Texas. It's just, the kid Hawkins, he's a freshman. This is Hawkins, like maybe third start or something in his college career, and he's facing the number one defense in America. Quinn Ewers was back. Last year, Texas had been embarrassed as Dylan Gabriel upset the Longhorns at Oklahoma and everything like that, and they were 6-point favorites. Remember, that was like a bloodbath for us. Remember how upset I was about that game because I had unloaded on Texas -6 last year. So I knew this was a good clapback spot. I know that Sark is one of those type of coaches who wasn't going to forget, and they do a really good job in this game of holding off Oklahoma and not allowing them to do much. Ewers was a little rusty, but I expected that with his first game back. He better look better than that this week coming up against Georgia.
All right. Sino, did you see anything in that game, or were you like me and just moved it on?
No, I moved on that game. Use the spreads like that. I just, once they up, move on to the next. Let's make some more money.
I didn't watch this one. BYU took out Arizona. What happened there, 5-star?
I watched it. Coach Sataki did a great job. I don't know any of these kids from BYU, but they're hell. They made Arizona look bad, and Arizona is feeling the loss of Jed Fish. Jed Fish is getting his ass kicked in Washington. Now, Brett Brennan came from San Jose State, and Arizona is falling all the way off. Now you don't see the same Fafita at quarterback that remember we was riding Arizona every game, winning so much money with them last year. And I expected a lot more from them this year because they're a really talented team on both sides of the ball. Got a top 10 quarterback in the country, got top 5 wide receiver in the country, great backfield. It makes no sense for this type of performance that we saw at BYU. Brent Brennan better get it together, man. Like, this isn't San Jose State. You're playing tougher competition. You got to have these guys prepared. You can't come off dominating Utah and then the following week have a letdown like this in a game that you guys should have won, in my opinion, just by the talent on both sides of the ball. But like I said, wonderful job by BYU. They got a great football program down there, and it all starts with their head coach.
You watched that game, Sino?
BYU looked phenomenal. As simple as that. The defense showed up. They scored majority of the points. I don't think Arizona stood a chance like from the start. And BYU, they real good. Just keep a lookout on them.
5-star. I know you don't like Dan Lanning, but they got the win. And what did you think about that stunt that he pulled that's going to get them to change the rules? I know you don't like him, but I got to give him credit. That was pretty clever.
Yeah, he's a clever kid. I liked him this week. I took Oregon. We played Oregon +3. I gave it out on the radio on ESPN 97.5 in Houston. The number told you that that was the side. As soon as it came out, me and Lance Erline was talking about that. If you see Oregon +3 at home against Ohio State, the books telling you who's gonna win right off the books. And see, no, you know that is someone who worked in the books forever.
Automatic.
Yeah, so that was a classic game. We were going to win regardless. Even if Will Howard does get down and spike the ball, and Ohio State kicks the field goal down and win by 2. Just two teams that are going to be around all year. Great showing by both. They are really good offensively when they want to be. They have been playing some low-scoring games all year, but you see when, just kind of like the NFL, when it's really time to go, no one's going to stop good offenses, man. Offense rules the day now. Defenses have to get stops in spots. Like they have to come up with big stops. But overall, we can't stop. We can't expect defense to consistently stop the type of talent on the really good teams in 2024. But awesome game there, and I'm glad we cashed. Super smart by Dan Lanning with what he did with that. He found a gray area, and he hammered it. And good job by him. I never bet him, but I bet him this week because the books told me to bet him, and we did good, and we cashed with him. So thank you, Dan Lanning.
Did you see that game, Cino? That was probably the most exciting game of the week.
That very was exciting. But all Cino could say is that my Big Ten future on Oregon is looking good. And if you listen to the Waging World, the first episode where we gave out all the futures, I told you guys we was gonna ride Oregon in this Big Ten. Let's go, baby.
Good job, boy.
All right, let's move to the NFL. Thursday night football didn't go well for me there. 5 stars. I thought the Seahawks were the right side.
Oh, I forgot about that game.
But Brock Purdy, man, he looked good, and man, I wanted that Seahawks team to be so good, and I think I just got to realize that they're simply average.
I don't know if that's the case. I just think that they got the wrong offensive coordinator. For one. And if you watch that game, I was over at Nick's place. Shout out to Nick, man. That's my guy. Nick's place is one of the foundations of Houston. It's right there on West Time, like in the Gessner area, man. Old school bar. I was over there with John Grenard and a bunch of really cool guys. Shout out to my guy from Warehouse Live, Justin. He was over there, and his son about to go to Baylor. So congratulations to him. We kicked it, watched the game, threw some back. What I noticed from that game was this. Seattle had a lot of opportunities, and the refs kind of showed you earlier what kind of week it was going to be. Every time the Seattle scored a touchdown or made a big play, it was a flag. Every time. They took away like 3 touchdowns from DK Metcalf. So, I feel like that Seattle is a good team, but what Mike McDonald is disappointing me with is their defense. Their defense has been ass lately. They've been giving up a lot of points. They're
missing like 5 of their 11 starters from training camp.
True. And Brock Purdy isn't that good. Even when I was watching all 22, that pass he threw the deep. Man, that pass he threw the Debo, a good quarterback intercepts that. It was so wobbly and slow and late. Sometimes he's getting away with a lot of stuff that if you don't watch film, you don't know. And that's why guys who watch film like myself don't really like Brock Purdy, man. It's only people who watch the end results of football that don't really micro analyze this stuff. He makes some bad throws. His arm isn't right, man. His arm is really leaky, man. And against good teams, as they go farther in the year, you're going to see that. But good win by them. A lot of points put up. Shanahan got the offense back rolling, or the Niners back. We'll see.
I like Purdy personally. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I like him personally too.
He don't like it.
I don't like how he throws.
He gets through his reads quickly though, and he's fairly mobile. I mean, I was a Jimmy G truther, and I have to admit that Purdy's an upgrade for that team. What did you see?
That Brock Purdy was better than him before he got on the field. You remember I liked Brock.
I know you did, and I'm surprised to see. So where would you rank him as a quarterback?
He's not a top 10 quarterback, man.
He's not.
No, man. No.
I think he is.
He's a system quarterback, man. If you drop Brock Purdy anywhere else, if they don't have an OC like that he has over there with Shanahan, he would not be putting up the numbers that he does. These guys are wide open a lot of times, man. He's not throwing a lot of window throws. He's not sitting back there like C.J. Stroud, man, and throwing dots. Like, let's be for real about this. Like he's not like Herbert, where he's
I was
throwing
just about to say that he's not
these
better than
window
Herbert.
passes, like Mahomes, where he's throwing 80-yard droppers and dropping on the dime. He's not like that, man. The playbook that they have, they utilize him really well. And he's a lot more athletic than people think. And I've always said that about him. He has some scramble ability. But all of that, he thinks he's better than what he is. And that's going to end up being his downfall because sometimes he tries to do a little too much. And you're going to see as the season goes, I think that he's a phenomenal kid. He's very coachable. I think that he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. But me, from studying the film, I just don't think he's a really good passer spread. I don't think that he's very accurate, and I don't think that he throws a really tight ball.
Cino, where do you see the 49ers and the Seahawks going after this game? Are the nine? And we'll talk about them more on Friday because they got the biggest game of the week. But
I told y'all was on your own on that game. Of course, me and the clients, we played 49.
no, you got victory lapping, huh?
Yeah, that was, man. We
played Cino, man, I already lost some money.
Hey, man.
Hey, spread. If it ain't on video, it didn't exist. Ain't that what the kids say?
Oh my God. Hey, and just like I told y'all when y'all asked me if I was gonna be on the Seattle Seahawks with you guys, told y'all nope, good luck.
No, you did.
And, man, most definitely. And I don't think, how could Brock Purdy be a top 10 quarterback? 5-star, you made me realize Brock Purdy wasn't that last year. Like you kept stressing it to me. He's not even better than Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is
You don't think so?
No, he's not. No.
The only reason I like Purdy more is he
throwing the ball, but he's a better player right now, I think,
Yeah, because Rodgers can't avoid the rush like Purdy can. Purdy can extend plays.
Yeah, he can. He can.
You're right. I mean, from the pocket, Rodgers is still throwing darts, but he needs protection. Purdy doesn't necessarily.
But Purdy has all the protection that he needs. It's a big difference. If Aaron Rodgers was on that same team that Purdy has right now, it'd
But you know why it wouldn't work? It wouldn't work because he wouldn't
run the plays.
He just had a coach like this, and he didn't
like it.
He's not going to run the plays.
He doesn't like motion. He's way in the past, man.
Yeah, he has to adjust to the new game, man.
All he want to do is get up there, read the defense, throw a hand signal to his wide receivers, and play backdoor ball where
blame somebody else.
Throw is going to beat you. My perfect throws are going to beat you.
Yeah,
that's how you want to play. That's not that offense. That's why Purdy's good in it. Jordan Love is good in those offenses because you got to be able to run a little bit to run that offense, man. Because you're gonna have to bootleg. All that's from Shanahan tree, so it's gonna be some bootleg. And when I say Shanahan, I'm talking about Mike Shanahan, the dad. You're gonna have some bootlegs, some woggles come out of that, man. You're not gonna be able to he's too slow. He's not gonna work now. And that's why he didn't like it in Green Bay too, spread, because he didn't like you say, all the motion. He didn't like having to sprint out. He didn't want to do any of that. He just want to sit in the pocket and throw.
Yeah, he just wants to throw darts. Let's talk about the Houston Texans, man. I'm surprised you even put this game on 5-star. I mean, like, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
I just had to run a victory lap because I was so proud of my Texans.
I knew there was something behind this because no one else would talk about this game.
Yeah, I just put it on there as a victory lap, man. I'm just like how good they looked, man, especially that offense. Tank Dell's back, and that really made me happy, because they're going to need Tank Dell in order to get to where they want to be. I don't know how long Nico's going to be out, but just what this kind of confirmed to me was, all right, so the Bills' victory was solid. This kind of confirmed to me when you're going against the public, you're going on the road, this big of a favorite, that you're legit. This kind of just showed me that they're legit because it's not easy to cover on the road, as you guys know. As a favorite, especially when you're fading the public, we always say that good teams win, great teams cover. So I like where the Texans are at, and now they're starting to trend into the trajectory that I thought that they would be as one of the top teams in the AFC.
You've been real good with your quarterback evaluations. Talk to me about what you saw from Drake May.
Drake May, he has a bright future, just needs more snaps. He's really mobile. That's what I like about him. I love quarterbacks that can move a little bit. He could throw the ball. He didn't seem afraid. That's a good thing. Like, he has a good pulse. Just more snaps. That's the main thing I see from him, man. I think he has a chance to be, a good quarterback. Kind of reminds me of a Lawrence, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. That's why I kind of coupled to is Trevor Lawrence. But We'll see at the end of the day how it turns out. What do you think about it? How did you think he did, Spread?
I think he's going to be good. And I thought that they might made a mistake by putting him behind that offensive line. I was worried he was going to get beat up and lose some of his confidence, but his mobility showed, and I like his arm. I'd like to see what he can do on a real team.
Yeah, he has arms. He's in the right team. They just got to down you. This the Patriots, man.
Well, okay, and that's not their fault.
Yeah.
I give a lot of these teams excuses, but they lost like 3 linemen too to start the
Yeah,
year.
and the Patriots,
So,
their owner is a great owner. Before people don't realize before they went on their Super Bowl winning streak. You and I know that, Spread. The Patriots always been a good team, even though they made it to a couple Super Bowls before Tom Brady got there. They just didn't win them. They've been well ran as long as Mr. Norelco is the owner. As long as he's over that team, he knows what he's doing, man. He knows how to hire smart people, and that area of the world is just like that anyway. Boston is one of those places. That's why the Celtics are good. The Patriots are usually good. The Red Sox are good perennially. They're real, like analytic in that area of the world. A lot of smart people right there by MIT. So they're able to get a different talent pool than a lot of people, and their owners do a good job of hiring young, smart people to run their franchises.
Cino, did you watch that game, and what'd you think of Drake May?
To be honest, I didn't watch that game, but Drake May, he has to step up and compete with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. And I was looking at some of the numbers. These 3 guys, they made some historic numbers for rookie quarterbacks this week. So Drake May, he definitely be fine. I think he just have to make some adjustments, like you guys said. It's the Patriots organization. Anybody that snaps the ball under the center over there is usually good.
We'll see. I would just, I guess team is the wrong word. Just bad situation right now with how bad that offensive line is playing. 2 teams in good situations, however, are the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. However, the Ravens showed that they were a step ahead. They barely got the cover. If I remember right, they won by 7. The spread was 6.5. Pretty good showing from the Commanders, though. There's a lot of people who thought they were going to get exposed. They're going to get boat raced. I thought the team played well, and I think, just for where they're at as a franchise, they can actually build off this loss. What did you see?
Yeah, the Commanders about to be a problem. You're seeing the exact same thing with Jaden Daniels that you saw with Lamar. It was instant. Where you see the team already plays better for him. They rally around him, and you see that he's going to be able to get it done when it counts. He's a guy that's not afraid of the moment. I think he might be better than Lamar. I keep telling you that. I think in the end, when we go back down the line, I think Jay may end up winning more than Lamar. Lamar better win the Super Bowl this year. I think this is his year. The way things are laid out, C.J. Stroud is still young. The Texans need another year or 2, to develop into that team unless they just get on a hot streak in the playoffs, because we know how Stroud can put up points. Mahomes, they've been winning, but they've been winning ugly, which means that any game they can lose in the playoffs. Like, it's not money. They don't look dominant this year. So Baltimore's offense is leading the league in yards. They seem like to do what they want. Seem like they put up 30 at will. And this has to be Lamar's go time. He has to get that Super Bowl here. Now, I think Jaden Daniels, if he stays along with Dan Quinn, he'll be playing for a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. I really feel that good about that combination. And I told you that preseason, Dan Quinn is an amazing coach, man. He's been great everywhere he's been. He started with Seattle. He was over the Legion of Boom. He created that whole defensive style. And what was Seattle's strength when they won the Super Bowl? Their defense. From there, he went to the Falcons, took them to the Super Bowl. What was their strength at the time? Their defense, and Matt Ryan had an MVP season 1 year, but it still went back down to him being able to coach people who weren't really known commodities with the Falcons and able to still have a good defense out there. Goes to the Cowboys. Cowboys haven't been known for defense since the 70s. What does Dan Quinn do instantly? Turn around their whole defense. Now, a year later, what's happening now? They let the Saints drop 40 on them. They let the Lions drop 47 on them last week. Dan Quinn knows what he's doing, man. Great hire by Washington. They have a brand new ownership group. Now you got Daniel Snyder out of there. And what we talk about all the time on the show, Spread, it starts from the owner and trickles down. So it looks like they have the right hires, made some. Because, Jay didn't even want to go there. He was trying to get to Vegas. He wanted to be the Raiders quarterback. And they told him, we don't give a damn. We drafting you. And now he's a Washington, and they made the right choice. But as far as the game, we held off. Sometimes it pays to go early. We went early with the Jets last week and took the 3 because we anticipated that maybe Josh Allen will be out with a concussion protocol. But strangely, somehow it didn't exist. He didn't even get checked. He just got some smelling salt. They threw him back out there. And on this one, we waited till the end. And I was hoping it got to 7. And right at the last second in Houston on the book, it went to +7. And I was able to jump on that. So I got the push. Me and the clients did not lose on this one. We got +7. So I was glad about that. Overall, really entertaining game. And Washington showed you that they could play with anybody.
You know, one thing that 5-Star said that stuck with me that I'm really seeing on tape now is how good Jaden Daniels is intermediate. So we knew he had the mobility and we knew he could throw the deep ball. But when you're watching that accuracy underneath, 5-Star said it, so I'm taking his thing. But that's why I think he has the potential to be better than Lamar. Did you watch that game?
I did, and I was wondering why that game wasn't on primetime as much as we seen the goddamn Denver Broncos last season on primetime. like this is a game right here. This is the future of the NFL. And 5-Star been on Jaden Daniels for the longest, man. He been telling us about this kid, and everybody's starting to realize. And I think if the Commanders' defense would have stepped up, they gave up 484 yards just to Lamar and Henry alone. Lamar threw in the air and Henry ran. If they would have stepped up, they definitely had a chance to win that game. So the Commanders is a team you should be looking out for. Jaden Daniels is the future, and you heard it here first on the Waging Row.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's who's going to stop Baltimore right now. God.
Jaden Daniels is the future, and you know who's living in the past? Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God!
And my guy Dan Campbell showed that
Jesus Christ
this weekend. You know, it's so funny. I actually wasn't on that game, Too Tough, and Tyler loved it. You know, I do shows with Tyler. I said, "Sure, Tyler, I'll roll with you. We'll play the Lions," and that was the easiest win of the weekend. You know, I've talked before about when you overpay. You can't overpay an elite quarterback. You can't overpay Lamar. You can't overpay Josh Allen. You can't overpay Patrick Mahomes. You can't overpay guys that like Tua and Dak, right, that might not be able to just carry your team. And I feel that's coming home to roost because you look at some of the Cowboys' problems, and because they pay so much to these high-profile skill position players, the defensive line depth is decimated. And you talked about Dan Quinn, and I'll tell you what, 5-Star, before the season, I thought that Mike Zimmer would be just fine. But they've definitely fallen off, not only from roster perspective, but from a coaching perspective as well, which is something I didn't expect. I thought that Zimmer would do okay. To be fair, they are missing 2 of their best players, but if you're getting paid all that money to coach up the defense, you got to be able to do it, at least for a week or 2 without your top guys. What did you see as Dallas fell? And do you think they bounce back, or do you think this is just the beginning of a disastrous fall down in Dallas?
This was a formula that was always going to end up like this with the head coach and the owner that we have together. It all started when they spent the night together. That's yeah, he had to spend the night at his house to get hired. So this was always going to go bad. And another thing, what better birthday gift could Jerry Jones receive than what he got on Sunday from Dan Campbell? A direct flip of the middle finger from Detroit, man. So great job by the Lions there. I was sitting over at Warehouse Live with my guy Justin. He's the owner of Warehouse Live. Him and Granada were over there. It was a damn tribute rock show going. So while we watching this game, Cowboys get their ass beat in. I'm hearing classic rock. So it was it was a memorable situation for me. I feel bad for those guys because they both took the Cowboys, and it was never close, man. I didn't bet that game. I wasn't messing with it. I don't bet Cowboys games. Remember I told you guys that Cowboys Steelers was the last one I was betting. I'm not betting their games at all the rest of the season. But Detroit is who we thought they were going to be heading into the year. Ben Johnson does a wonderful job with that offense. You guys know another one of my guys is Jared Goff. He's always been underrated. I got so much love for Jared Goff, and I hope that he gets the last laugh on Sean McVay. We know Sean McVay got the ultimate prize by, getting the Super Bowl with Stafford. But still, I don't like how he did my guy, Goff, and I love the way that Goff has picked up that Detroit franchise and turned it into a winning organization. And him and Dan Campbell are legends in Detroit, bro. They love them out there, and they got a really good team. I enjoy watching that Detroit offense. I just enjoy everything that they do over there, but they will miss Aiden Hutchinson. We know the Detroit is one of those teams that kind of remind you of the old school Colts. And what was Tony Dungy's philosophy? We get ahead with this great offense first, and then we rush the passer. They're going to miss Aiden Hutchinson, man.
Tino, what do you think, man? Are the Cowboys done, or is this just a temporary setback? And there's the old saying: you're never as good as you look on your best week, and you're never as bad as you look on your worst week. Do you think that applies to the Cowboys here, or was that maybe a harbinger of things to come this season?
Nah, the Cowboys are finished for the season. Jerry, he knows it. You got your ass pounded on your birthday, like for real. Like that
Pound town.
like for real, pound town. And just again, as professional players, like again, 5-star, my brother. If it's 5-star birthday and I'm giving out plays, I'm trying to go undefeated. I ain't trying to go 0-10. Shit, I'm trying to 9-10 at least worse. Like, I'm not trying to get blown out at nothing. And I just felt that was disrespect. And then Jerry Jones, he's real upset. He got on one of his radio stations and talked crazy to his podcast host. I'm like, what up? And they let him talk like that. I'm like, I'd have been on a new podcast.
He told him I'll replace you and get somebody else to ask me those
that's just what he told him. And he said, I am not kidding. You know what I'd have did, Jerry? You have a nice day. I'd have ended the call on him, and I've been on another podcast. I'm a man. You don't play with me like that at the end of the day.
And you could have sued him.
But I don't care how much money you have. I don't give a damn about none of that, sir. You're not about to talk to me like that. Like, for real. And just for them to even still be on that podcast, that just to go to.
He's mentally declining. He's always been a jerk, but he's starting to slip up and say some stuff that, older people, he might not be mentally declining, because I've been around older people my whole life, and the older people they don't give a damn about what they say. They just tell you how they feel. So maybe he's just saying how he feel, but he gave that guy the business.
He did. And to be honest, with that energy right there, man, I'm a positive person in the universe. You never gonna win with that energy. You treat people like that, people that work for you and do things for you to make sure your business and your organization thrives, you never gonna win in life. So
they've never had a general manager.
That's why they ain't win a goddamn Super Bowl in over 20 years.
Bro, Jimmy Johnson was the last personnel guy that they had. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though they're old as hell and Stephen Jones' son is kind of over the draft with them, they've done a pretty good job. They've been pretty decent in the draft. They haven't drafted bad over the years. I just feel like it's time to put the keys to the franchise to get a brand new look and a brand new path. You need to bring in some outside people outside your family, man. You can't just like the Lakers and the Cowboys are two peas in a pod. It's like they're these big known brands, but they've been ruined because it's too much of just family. It's like a family business and like a small business, but it's not a small business. This is a mega corporation, and you have to spread it out by bringing in people with new ideas that can kind of keep your organization fresh and winning, man.
Yeah, and I think they both invest a little bit too much money in the stars, right? Because I know LeBron's still great and he's putting up great numbers, but I just don't know at this age. And he doesn't play defense. And we don't want to get an NBA. We'll do that next week because the NBA.
You can't wait. Look, you're itching around.
I already want to start hating.
Look, you, Jay Buddy, and Ski. Every time I talk to y'all asses this week, y'all want to talk about.
You ready for some NBA?
I don't give a damn about the NBA.
When he started saying it, I started itching.
It's gonna be fun. Hey, we already kind of talked about these games a bit. Did you guys have anything else to say about the Sunday night and the Monday night game? I already kind of gave my breakdowns. If you guys are ready to move to the present.
Yeah, let's get to the present, man.
All right, let's do that because we have college football on tonight, huh? Even Wednesday night now. Western Kentucky's going to head down to Sam Houston State. Where is Sam Houston State?
Right outside of Houston in Huntsville, Texas, the prison city of the world. If you got Huntsville, you probably
shout out that
probably don't have any happy ones.
All right. So you learn something new every day. That's why you got to tune into the wagering world. If you just learn something like me, guys, hit that thumbs up. But talk to me. Is there any potential betting opportunities tonight when Western Kentucky takes on Sam Houston?
Yeah, these are two of the best mid-major programs in America, in my opinion. They're really solid, long-time winners. You got Western Kentucky, who's coached by Tyson Hilton. As you know, his dad was a coach. His brother Clay Hilton, I think, is still at Georgia Southern or somewhere. But before that, he was at USC. And their dad was like a coach with the Oilers and stuff. So they grew up in the Houston area. Dad also, I think, was the head coach for the Houston Cougars. Well, he's passed down all that stuff to his sons. And Western Kentucky runs a really fun offense. They're up-tempo. They try to score a lot of points. And then you got Sam Houston, is one of the best college football home advantages in the country. I guess when they get locked up when they come out there to Huntsville, because when they come in that stadium, people are getting a lot of success, man. They've had multiple 20-plus win streaks at that stadium, and they're on a pretty good one right now as well. Also, thing to look at in this matchup is Western Kentucky started Caden Velkamp. He's been the quarterback now the last 3 weeks. Actually, TJ Finley's he's from Monroe, Louisiana. He played at LSU, went to Auburn, Texas State. Big 6'7" kid. Had a lot of potential coming out, man, but he hasn't lived up to the billing in college, really. Had a lot of stops, a lot of transfers. Hopefully he can get his footing together over here at Western Kentucky when he comes off that injury. But for right now, we got Velkamp as the quarterback. He's thrown 5 interceptions in the last 3 games. Turns the ball over too much, whereas Sam Houston does not turn the ball over. They're going to run the ball, man, and they're going to use those athletes on the outside on quick screens and things like that to get down the field. I really like their quarterback, Hunter Watson. A lot of people were talking on Twitter saying that he was in blackface, and they were kind of mad the last game when they played UTEP. The kid was not in blackface, man. His name is Hunter. So if you know about hunting, they put paint all over their face when they're hiding and hunting for deer and stuff, man. That's what he was doing, and hunting's a big thing out in that Huntsville area. So the kid was not in blackface. It was like his name's Hunter. He was like he was doing deer hunting. But I like in this game, I think I'm going to have to ride with the home team, man. I got to lean Sam Houston just because I know what type of home field advantage they have. I know what type of defense they play. I like how Hunter Watson is one of those really athletic quarterbacks that can make plays with his feet and his arm. And like I said, Velkamp has turned the ball over a little bit. I don't know if Western Kentucky is prepared for the type of atmosphere that they're going to catch in Huntsville tonight on a Wednesday night when the whole world's looking. So Houston State Bearcats money line, man.
Yeah, bro, this is crazy offshore because I'm placing these bets while you do the breakdown. It's only an extra 12 cents to get rid of 2 points. Yeah, I got -2 at -110. Money line's only -122. Give me that money line.
Play the money line. Play the money line. Look, the Bearcats, they won 3 straight home games. The Hilltoppers, they lost 2 of their last 2 road games. Sam Houston State, like 5-star said, they definitely had a better offense. Western Kentucky, they throw the ball well, but their running game is one of the worst in the country. So the Bearcats, they got one of the best pass defenses. Looking at it, they're holding up opponents under 200 passing yards per game at home. This should be an easy win. This will officially play casino tonight. Sam Houston, ain't no lean. Sam Houston Bearcats money line. Let's
go, baby.
I like that. I've just placed that now while we broke it down. Will I be placing another bet when Florida International travels to take on UTEP? UTEP catching 7 at home. What do you think, 5-star?
Man, as much as it pains me on this one, I think I'm gonna have to take UTEP in the points, man. I know they're 1-9 in their last 10, but they're 5-5 against the spread. And I've watched them a couple games this year, and they're real scrappy. They just haven't been able to get, on the win side. They haven't won all year, but they beat FIU the last 2 times they faced them, including upsetting them as a 6-point dog last year on the road in Miami. So I know FIU has a really good quarterback. He's undersized, but he's good. Keon Jenkins. If he comes to play, it's lights out on me. But the numbers and the market is telling me that UTEP is the play here with the +7. They might get their first win of the year this year. It just depends if they can slow down the run. And the great thing about it is FIU doesn't have the patience to run the ball. They're more of a passing team. If they run the ball, that's the weakness that UTEP has. UTEP has 2 quarterbacks they've been using. I need one of them to get high, whether it's McConnell or the Schuyler kid. One of them got to start hitting some strikes because they really got some decent receivers, some big, tall, fast Texas kids on the outside. If they can get them the ball, they can stay in the game. I'm rolling with UTEP strictly off the fact that past success, so when they look across the field, they've beaten that Jersey before. They're very desperate for a win. Nobody wants to go 0 and whatever for the season, 0-11. So they're at home, Wednesday night game. This is going to be their best opportunity to win. Give me UTEP +7, man. These games during the week have been a bunch of junk. Every night it's been a bunch of janky trash, and all the teams have been bad, and these are 2 bad teams as well. So I always take the points from 2 bad teams that playing each other.
All right. Tino, do you agree? Are you going to jump in on UTEP?
Not this one. Like how he said, man, the youth team, they've been guided by two different quarterbacks this season. So, it's no communication on either side of the ball. And the FIU, we know they're not a strong squad at all, but they 80 in scoring, and they holding teams to 27 points per game. Solid passing attack.
They got a good coach. They got a good coach.
And like he said, FIU 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games. UTEP 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games. Y'all know, Cino, we riding the train. I lean FIU, so I take the -7 if I have to. Not official play for me. I definitely lean Florida International though.
Yeah, not official for me either, but I lean the +7. We're on opposite sides, but we're both. These are leans, guys. We don't bet bad teams. We don't.
Yeah, nah.
Well, let's bet Sam Houston, and then we'll just flip over to.
We definitely bet Sam.
We'll flip over to the other game when Sam Houston's up by 21 in the third quarter. Boston College tomorrow night. They're +7. They're taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Is this an opportunity, or are we staying on the sideline here?
Man, I really like Boston College's coach. I like Bill O'Brien as a college coach. Not so much as a head coach and a GM. He was a good head coach with the Texans until he became the GM as well and started making bad moves. And he kind of set up the Deshaun Watson catastrophe because he traded Nuke Hopkins, and him and Watson devised it all behind closed doors so that Watson could get his money and become, the franchise by himself. And it set back the Texans some years. They had some rough years in Houston because of that over there on Kirby. But now everything's looking golden. But he can coach. He's a really good X and O guy. It's his history with the Patriots and being a real big influence on Tom Brady's career. Then he has a quarterback now. He just came back from injury, Thomas Castellanos. He's really fast, really accurate guy. Just so small, man. A lot of balls get knocked down and batted down when you're smaller. I want to say maybe 5'9". Virginia Tech, all year I've been telling you guys, Virginia Tech is a hell of a team, man. They got one of the best quarterbacks. Kyron Drones might be drafted in like the 3rd round or so in the NFL. He has that type of talent, man. He's just running a really bad offense with Brent Pry. I don't know why Brent Pry runs the offense. He runs it's really outdated, and it really doesn't utilize all of the talent that team has. He does have a really good running back as well. Great receivers, great tight ends. They're just loaded everywhere at Virginia Tech, but they've kind of, underperformed this year. The book is telling you with this number that this might be a spot where Virginia Tech is going to get right. And Boston College, as I said, it's hard for me to lay these type of points with a team with a good quarterback and a good coach coming off a bye. But, man, the numbers and the market is telling me that Virginia Tech is the play on this one. Last year, they beat Boston College pretty handily, 48-22. And as I told you, this is basically the same Virginia Tech team coming back again. They had the most starters, I want to say, in college football, but for sure in the ACC they returned. I think 17 starters returned. So give me Virginia Tech, man, -7. I think that's going to be an official play for me, man. It's just something tricky about that number. I think that's a big number for a reason. So I'll lay the points at home with Vitek. I think that Vitek is starting to find itself, and they really got confidence, it seems like, from that Miami game, threatening Miami and almost winning that game because they went and smoked Stanford last week in Stanford. And we know in Palo Alto is not an easy win, as we saw Stanford beat Syracuse, which was a really good team. They handled them really good, 31-7. So give me Virginia Tech -7 as an official play.
All right, Tino, you jumping in?
Yep, I definitely agree with the guru on this one. Even though the line not great value, they still a talented team. And the Hokies, they haven't played good football since I'm sorry about that. We know the Hokies are definitely a good football team right now, and BC, they haven't played good football since they played Mizzou. So hopefully Virginia Tech does what they have to do and they blow them out. Cam Jones, very talented athlete, dangerous on the run as always. He improved his passes much this season. So how could you not take the home team with those points?
All right. Looks like both of you guys like Virginia Tech, which means that I'm placing that bet right now. But that's not the only football we have tomorrow night. 5-star, your New Orleans Saints. Buddy, I think they're in trouble. I think they are in trouble. They're playing Sean Payton, the man who led them to the Super Bowl. And I'm not Spencer Rattler's cool, but this is going to be a second start going against Vance Joseph, who's the defensive coordinator that I have a lot of respect for. And Patrick Surtain will be out. I really felt that hurt me because I liked the Broncos last week and I played them +3. And I turned that on and he's walking to the tunnel in the first series of the game. I go, man, we're in trouble. And I saw where the loss comes in because I felt that Joseph dialed back his blitzes because he couldn't just take one side of the field away with Surtain being out. Surtain's going to be out again Thursday night, but who's going to take advantage of it? No Chris Olave, no Rashid Shaheed. Who's the guy? Bo Means is going to be their new number 1. I think it's just too much.
Bub Means.
Excuse me, Bub Means. Bo Melton, Bub Means. I'll get it all figured out. But I think it's just too much for them to overcome. And I think Denver's quietly underrated, right? I know that Bo Nix is never going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but I think he's a serviceable guy, and I think Peyton's continuing to develop him and get the most out of him. The only thing I think that's really keeping the Broncos from being a top team is they can't run the ball. Every time I look at their box score, Nix is the number 1 rusher with 50 or 60 yards. We'll see if they'll get that going. But this Saints team, man, as good as they looked the first 2 weeks, I don't want to take too much away from their GM because they've probably been hit harder with injuries than almost anyone. The offensive line is beat up. They've lost a lot of key pieces on defense. I'm on the Broncos here, 5-star. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, the Saints are beat up. I don't know. Is Olave and Shaheed for sure out?
Not for sure. Not for sure. But
they just hurt. They're not going to be out. I think they're going to play.
Let me check right now. It's trending, and the line movement to me says that they're out because I don't think the line would have moved this far.
Kamara hurt as well. He has a hip injury as well. Shaheed has a hip injury, and we know that Taysom Hill isn't playing, which is huge for as short yardage for them.
This is an easy pick.
Yeah, Broncos.
Hell no. All these injuries y'all naming, y'all gonna take the Broncos? Okay. Good luck.
No, I ain't taking the Broncos. I ain't betting them, but the over.
I'm taking the Broncos. Tell me why I'm wrong. I already placed it. It's in my pocket. Tell me why I'm wrong, Sino.
Okay, so basically in these situations, working in the book, I see all types of things. Usually when they talk about all these key injuries, you always ride the team, with the players that's hurt. That's a no-brainer.
Because the number didn't change.
Yeah, the number didn't change. And it's 2.5, bro. It's 2.5. And also I give you guys one of my great numbers. Under Dennis Allen, any game less than 12, the Saints, if they don't throw an interception in the previous game, they are 13-4, straight up. So you giving them 2 points at home. You have to take the points, man. You have to. And the Saints just got their ass kicked last week.
Yeah.
You think they about to go back to New Orleans and let that happen to them again, back to back? Nah. And
they're gonna be motivated because
thank you. The line should be 4.5. It should be 4.5.
Because Sean Payton's coming to town, and then you got a rookie quarterback against another rookie quarterback. Man, I don't know. I probably don't play this. I would lean the over just because all of these games lately in prime time are going over because everyone's going to bet the under probably on this game.
Everybody's going to bet the under.
I think it probably go over because you just said it's some leakage in the defensive backfield for the Broncos. And we've seen before that the Saints, if Shaheed plays, he's going to take some deep shots with him. So
I don't think Shaheed's going to be out there, man. This line move says to me he's not playing.
I'm not seeing him listed as out. I'm just seeing him as injured. They're not saying he out. They're not saying him or Olave. Olave's not even listed on my injury report.
Olave's going to be out for sure because he had a concussion, and you can't get out of concussion protocol in 4 days. That's the same way I know that Surtain's out for sure. If you enter concussion protocol on Monday, there's no way that you can be cleared by Thursday under the new CBA or the way they have it set up now. So Olave's for sure. I'm looking up for Shaheed right now.
And Kamara's hurt too.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna play. Yeah. Okay. So wait, this is from 2 days ago. He's got a knee injury and he didn't practice all week. For Shaheed.
Yeah, it's not even a good way to find any props on this game or anything, because as you said, Javonte Williams is not recovered from that injury. He looks nothing like he looked as a rookie. And they don't really run the ball well, man, like you said, and that's kind of like the Saints' weakness right now is the run. Maybe Sutton has a decent game. It's like I don't see any edges in this game at all. Like, like I could just say a touchdown prop or something. I don't see any edges in this game, blah. So I'll just watch it and try to bet it live. But for some reason, something's telling me I lean to over 37. Just something's telling me somehow that's a really low number.
Yeah, I agree with you, 5-star.
Yeah,
especially with the under being 3-1 in the last 4 games between these two teams, and like it's at 37. And Rattler, he didn't do too good last game. Finding his 2 top receivers. I think there's gonna be a fireworks, and fuck that. I'm playing the Saints. This is official play from the casino.
All right, we have some fun on Friday. Man. One of us can be victory lapping because I'm already on the Broncos. I'm already on the Broncos. But if y'all want to go with the side to side, I'll tell you what my prop is for this one, 5-star. Okay. Give me Bo Nix over on rushing, man. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening.
What's the total? 9.5?
Let me look. No, it's got to be way higher than that. He goes.
It's got to be over 20, right?
20?
Oh, it's got to be.
What?
Probably over 30. He got like 60 rushing yards last week.
Yeah, it's over 20 for sure. He been running, Bob.
And let me go look. Rushing yards. Bo Nix. Oh yeah, it's about over 27. It's minus 120 on Bet Online. I'll go over there. I think he's going to go over. Over 36 is plus 141. I might even take a stab at one of these over 46s. Look at the box scores. He's the number 1 rusher on the team every week, and that's I think that's the only thing that keeping him from being a real playoff contending team is they just can't run the ball without Nix. So.
Yeah, I think we get a better showing from the Saints defense, and I think that they're going to be hitting Bo Nix really hard in the Superdome.
Welcome to the NFL, Bo Nix.
Yeah, so
welcome to the NFL Spencer Rattler.
Another thing, they're going to be out, but it's just a little bit more motivation, I think, on the side of the Saints, only because this Broncos team is a fairly new team. He's kind of got rid of all of the guys that were there when he came last year and kind of switched up the team, except for like maybe it was Surtain and a couple of the wide receivers. This Saints team is the exact same team almost that Sean Payton had when he was the coach there. So a lot of the key positions, from like on the defensive side especially, those guys all played for Sean Payton. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, and Lattimore, they all played for him. So maybe Dennis Allen can get one good effort from the Saints this week, and that gotta feel kind of ticked that Sean Payton quit on them and then went and joined another NFL team to become a coach. Like, what was wrong with us? Why if you want to coach, why do you stay coaching the Saints? So that's one thing to watch their spread. Maybe be careful of is that motivation factor. And over the years, the Saints have been a really good home prime time team.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I got faith in Sean Payton, and I think the fact that he knows those players so well is going to even help him even more. I think he's going to design the proper plays to take advantage of some of their weaknesses. But of course, we'll see. Like I said, if the Saints were at full strength, minus Carr, I don't care about him. I'm worried their offensive line is too beat up, and Vance Joseph's going to have a field day with this team. So we'll have fun talking about that one on Friday. It's time for the ball and parlay. What do you got for us, 5-star?
Man, I've been on this tennis overnight. Tennis has been really good. As you guys know, they're on the Asian swing. So we're going to go over to Osaka, Japan, man. We got Anna Bogdan. She's going to be facing Marie Buskova. Buskova is the higher-ranked player, but in this situation, I do like Bogdan. You can't beat plus 130. She has a 2-0 head-to-head over the years against Buskova. And the reason why is Buskova was really a defensive player that kind of, plays off of your mistakes. Bogdan, when she's on, she's going to mow her just because Bogdan is a striker. She's trying to, hit winners. I think she has too much firepower for Buskova. Buskova has the hope that Bogdan is having one of those error field days, but if she isn't, she's going to have the whole court open to hit winners. She just mowed Kudermetova 6-2, 6-2, and as I said, she has a really good head-to-head against her. So give me Anna Bogdan. I already put it in. It's a well play. Please do not jank me in the clients, because this is our biggest play for the night. Plus 130 on Anna Bogdan.
All right, Sino, what do you got for us?
Cena already gave out his play. We're gonna ride with the Bearcats. We're gonna keep it real simple. Like I said, powerhouse at home. We're not even gonna second guess it. So drop your unit on Sam Houston tonight, and see you guys Friday with a win.
All right, I don't want to give out Cino head to head here, so I'll go with the Bo Nix prop. Both those can happen, Cino. And give me over 26 yards rushing at minus 121 offshore. I think we'll see some. Nix is an underrated athlete, man. And we're going to have fun, and we're going to see who's going to win in that game tomorrow night.
All right, guys. So you already know we got another head-to-head. This time it's Spread versus Cino. Who gets the win on the Saints and the Broncos? Two middle-of-the-pack teams with trending different ways. I think the Broncos are slightly trending up. The Saints are definitely trending down. Prepare for a regime change. I think it might be time to move out Mickey Loomis as well, because him attaching himself to Derek Carr showed me that he doesn't need to lead this franchise anymore, man. He did a really good job over the years, but him and Sean Payton were kind of a combo together on things, and I think that he has too much power now with Dennis Allen, and he's also dibbling and dabbling with the NBA now. So go run the Pelicans, man, and let's find a young guy to come run the Saints, and let's do definitely a change at coach, man. Let's get an offensive-minded coach in there that can groom Spencer Rattler, and let's build around Spencer Rattler down in New Orleans, man. Hey, you guys hit that like button. We missed you. We hate that we couldn't give you guys the winners on Friday because, man, we had a really dominating weekend on Saturday. You know, you guys know I'm a college football bettor, and we went crazy. The only loss was Arizona +4. Let's get back in here on Friday and try to prepare you for the weekend like we usually do. You guys hit that like button because it's always us versus the machine. We do it for the underground and the underdogs. Anything for the people, Cino, before we get out of here?
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys so much. Again, hit that like button, continue interacting with us. We're gonna act back. You watch the show, come slide in the DMs, man. I might give you a free winner. Raw play, I got something that I really like. I just like interacting with you guys. And again, we do this for the underground and the underdogs.
Yes, sir. What you got for them, Spread?
Man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's games. What I'm really looking forward to is that Friday show. We get some more college football winners for the weekend.
Hey, and as always, I dedicate this show to the greatest Houston sports fan that I know, and that's my father, John H. Lindsay. I do this for you, Dad. You guys subscribe, retweet the show, send a link out. We're trying to get to 1K subscribers. You guys help us because we're always trying to help you. It's always us versus the machine. This is the Wagering World. See you guys on Friday.